Hello and welcome to another episode of Y'all Are Crazy. We're excited to be back with you this week. We are going to be talking about one of our favorite topics this week, and that is having a large family.
We have a pretty big one.
We do. I'm so proud of us.
7 kids.
So we have 7 kids, and we've had them in 12 years. So we are not Mormon. We are not Catholic. And I have birthed all these children in my body. We have not had any twins. And what else?
I don't know.
They have all come about every 2 years. So our first 2 are 15 months apart, and then the rest have all come about every 2 years. Their spans are 24 to 28 months, something like that.
Yeah.
So we've had 7 children. We did not start that young. We had our first baby at 25. We were both 25 when we had her. And then we had our last at age 37. So yeah, that's a lot of babies within those 12 years. Whenever you say that, it's like, whoa, like, is that even possible? Yep, it is. So last time I had our 7th baby in the hospital, I remember my doctor saying she's delivered 5 of our babies. Our first 2 we had at the hospital with midwives, and then they left that hospital, and so we went to a doctor, and she was a very natural doctor, and I've delivered 5 with her now. And she told me the last time when we had our 7th baby that I was in the lead for the most babies she has ever delivered.
That's a good thing to win.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. We need to get you a trophy.
I need it. I feel like I would own that. I would take that. So yeah, one of the amazing things is, like, I have had all of our babies normally, and just no complications, which is such a blessing.
Yeah, that's definitely a blessing from God for that.
Absolutely.
No C-sections, no emergencies, just we've been blessed with good, healthy births.
Absolutely. Our babies, we have 1 girl and 6 boys, so 7 total. And yeah, that's kind of crazy. When we first got married, did we set out to have a large family? We get asked that a lot.
Right. And I remember us talking a lot about having 4.
Yes.
Like 4 we were like, that would be really cool if we had 4.
Which, once again, he came from a 2-child household.
Yeah.
And I came from a 2-child household. He had 1 sister, I had 1 brother.
So we were like, hey, that'd be double of what we were raised with, you know?
We thought that sounded fun to have a large family, which at that time we considered 4 to be a large family, and it still is.
Right.
But you don't meet a lot of people who have as many as we do.
No, not very many at all. So it's a very small club.
Yeah. For us, and people ask, first of all, we always get asked almost every single day, are you done? And if people aren't asking us, like, we're talking about it.
True.
We talk about it a lot. And then, we get asked that a lot. And then we also get asked, like, how do you do it? How do you have so many kids? Because first of all, we own that we are weird. It's one reason we named our ranch Y'all Are Crazy. Mm-hmm. And we love it. Not to say that we always love the chaos of a loud house and the craziness, but I think we've just learned to embrace it.
Yeah, because there's definitely times when it is super loud. And if y'all came to our house, around supper time a lot, it's like you can't even hear yourself think sometimes. It's so loud, And then the kids will be like competing with each other, trying to be louder so that they can be heard. And then the babies are screaming and crying because they want attention too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have 6 boys. And so a lot of our household is like wrestling each other, getting down and dirty like boys do. And not to say our daughter can't hold her own, because she can.
Oh, yeah, she can.
And she does. And she's in 7th grade this year. And what's so funny is she is now arm wrestling boys at lunch and beating them. So.
Yeah, she said that she arm wrestled a boy and then he wanted a rematch, the next day. She's like, I don't know why he wants a rematch. I'm just going to beat him again.
And she did.
And she came home after that. She's like, yep, I beat him again.
We're like, you are so tough. You can tell you have 6 brothers.
Yeah.
I like to tease her that when she gets dating age, a boy's going to have to get through her dad and her 6 brothers. So bless his heart.
Yeah. I actually feel sorry for the man, but he's going to have to be a strong kid.
Very much so.
Yes.
So that's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah, we get asked a lot, like, why did you decide to have so many kids? And for us, like we said, we did not set out, honestly, to have a huge family. Mm-hmm. We knew we wanted a bigger family. So we obviously had 4 back-to-back really quickly. But after we had our 4, I think neither one of us felt done.
Right.
I think we just felt like, are we done? Are we not? But we just didn't feel peace about it. And so, and we have never felt completion, I think is the best way to say it. Mm-hmm. And obviously, when you look at your children that you have, you're never going to think, well, I wish I would have stopped there. Like, that's just not ever how it works. Like,
I wish I didn't have that one.
I look at our 5th, 6th, and 7th sons, and it's like...
Although sometimes no, I'm just kidding.
I would never think that. When I look at our 5th, 6th, and 7th, it's like... I can't imagine life without them.
Yeah, you see them and, they're in your life now and you're like, it's hard to remember life without them.
Right.
And it's like, man, if we would have stopped, we wouldn't have had, Barlow. Then we wouldn't have had Branch and we wouldn't have had Baxter. And it's like, you can't imagine life without those little dudes now,
It's amazing to think about.
And then it makes you think about, well, what could the next child be like if they're, and if
so, that's another question we get asked a lot is, are you guys done? And the question is, we don't know. We're both 38 and we are just basically praying for a peace from God to know whether our family is complete or whether we just need to trust him. We feel very convicted, I will say, about letting God dictate the number of children we have. That's just a personal conviction we have. We do not think it's for everybody. We think that God gives each family wisdom and guidance to choose what's best for them. For us, we feel like a conviction of ours is God choosing the number of children we have.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So some Bible verses that we love and always go back to are, first of all, from Genesis, when God told Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply.
Right. We take that literally.
Yes, we have done that, we feel like.
Yes.
We also, go ahead.
I just feel like as Christians, I feel like that's an important thing to do, is to be fruitful and multiply and then disciple your children and raise good, the best you can, Christ followers. Like that's the goal, and that's not an easy thing to do. Mm-hmm. But we both feel very passionate about that, and that's a calling on our life to do the best that we can.
Yes.
In that,
Absolutely. One thing that I have really been fixated on lately is I feel like the Lord has just laid it on my heart and mind that just because something is hard doesn't mean it's bad. And being pregnant is not easy, especially as you get a little bit older. It's not easy. Symptoms of pregnancy are exaggerated as you've gone through a few. Mm-hmm. Having a newborn, giving birth, breastfeeding, having toddler, having 2 in diapers, like none of these things are easy.
None of them.
However, when did we come up with the mindset that hard equals bad? Mm-hmm. And I know as humans, we seek comfort naturally. None of us want to go through hard times. I don't want to go through hard times. I want to protect myself from that. I want things to be easy and peaceful.
Right.
Everybody wants that. However, when you read the Bible, I think we can read and know that God never promised us an easy life.
No. And I don't think he calls us to just take care of ourselves and, live a self-centered life and try to make it as easy as possible. I mean, I don't see that anywhere in the Word,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of folks want that. They want the comfort and they want the ease, and whether they have no children or one or two, and the kids are raised and gone by their mid-40s so they can have the rest of their lives to themselves. Maybe that's their goal. That's fine. And like you said earlier, everybody's got different convictions, but we just feel like, man, there's nothing more fulfilling than bringing life into the world and then raising them, and the moments as parents that you get to have with your children. I mean, those are, to me, what life is all about.
Yeah, I think we've really, I would say lately, been obsessed with legacy.
Right.
I think we have been obsessed with making sure we are creating a life for our family that outlasts us, in that we are raising our children to also raise godly children who will also raise godly children, and having the kind of marriage that our children can look up to.
Right.
And just like living our lives for more than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have been obsessed with that. And I think you honestly have to be, if you want to be intentional with the way you live your life.
Yeah. And sometimes for me, when I stop and think about that, it's a scary, I don't know, sometimes uneasy feeling. Like, that's a big thing to tackle, is, will we do as good a job as parents as we can to raise our kids, to then be good Christ followers and raise their kids. And, man, you just always hope that I'm doing a good enough job. But I think that's why, we have to continue to grow in our faith, set aside time to read our Bibles every morning before our day starts. We both do that. And, keep asking God for wisdom and how to do it with our kids. Yes. You know what I mean?
Well, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. Mm-hmm. We take that very seriously, and we believe that that is a promise of the Lord, and doesn't mean our children aren't going to make mistakes. And obviously, we don't know how they're going to turn out, but we are doing our best, and we're trusting the Lord with the outcome.
Yeah. It talks about that children are a blessing, and like arrows in a man's quiver, and blessed is the man whose quiver is full, And when I read that, it's like, man, we have 7 right now, and it's like our quiver is full, and it's a blessing. And we think about, what will it be like to have grandkids?
We talk about that a lot. And what's funny is, I feel like we're weird once again, but we're very fixated on like what are we doing now that is what's our future going to be like? Mm-hmm. We think about these things a lot, but I know you've talked to men who have grandchildren, or, maybe will have soon. And it's like, they haven't even thought about what that's going to be like yet.
Right. We
think about that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I ask them questions about what they're looking forward to, or, what do they think it's going to be like? And, some of them are like, man, I hadn't even thought about it, and it's like, well, I think that's an important thing to think about, because we want to be ready. And, for us, we want to really enjoy being, and who knows, we might be the ones that we're still raising kids and having grandkids at the same time,
And that brings up a point. I'm not going to tell you that having a lot of kids comes without objections, because you are going to get a lot if you choose to pursue having a large family.
Yeah.
So people a lot of times will tell us things like that, of like, why would you want to still be raising kids when you have grandkids?
Yeah.
And we hear that. For us, we think that's going to be fun, honestly.
Oh, yeah. That's a blessing.
We don't have a problem with that. We see being parents as one of the biggest blessings in life. And if we can and we probably will have grandkids, and then we'll still have kids in school. But like, what a fun time, and what a better use of our time than pouring into our next generation.
Yeah, and I think we get a lot of fulfillment from that. We don't need what the world offers in terms of fulfillment that's really actually empty.
Yeah. Some of our greatest memories and joys are going on family vacations with our kids every summer, just getting those that quality time and all these memories we're making, like, we love it. We have taken a few vacations on our own over the years, but not really. Not much. It's normally with all of our kids or with a few of our kids. We have gone on some trips in the last few years with your company that limit the number we can take due to room occupancy. So we have had to choose 2 or 3 kids to bring. And some people are like, why would you do that? But honestly, it's been amazing because we get to spend quality time with a few kids, pour into them, spend that great time. And how fun is that? And then something else that has allowed us to make great memories with our kids and that we look forward to, we love, is their sports.
Right.
We love going to football games and watching our boys play and watching our daughter cheer and going to wrestling tournaments for a full day. And like, we love it. It is so fun for us.
It's fun. And we've talked about that, I think, on a prior episode, but we try to do sports where they're all in the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
Because obviously with 7 kids, you can't be, you can't have them all in different things. So yeah, that takes a lot of parenting from us too, of like, this is wrestling season. We're all wrestling, it's football season. We're all playing football. It's not like, one's going to go here and there and everywhere because we couldn't do that. So
you do have to do different things with a large family.
You have to.
It has to work for the family.
Yeah, and sometimes we get invited for things for those sports teams that they want to go on a one-off tournament or a one-off whatever, and we just have to say no. I mean, we just can't.
Yeah.
And so it does cause you to have to live life different.
You definitely do. And you're always going to have a sport or an activity, I think, that maybe a couple of your kids excel in more than others. But I just think that when you're doing something as a family and everybody gets to do it, they get to cheer each other on, which is so fun. And sometimes we'll have our kids it's like, do I have to go watch this game? It's like, yes, because your brother cheers you on every Saturday.
Yeah.
Right now we have 2 in tackle football and 2 in flag. They're going to be there to cheer their siblings on.
Well, and it's a lot of our memories as a family when we talk with the kids and stuff is, hey, you remember when, hey, do you remember that? Do you remember this game or that match? And, and they'll talk about each other too, about how they overcame and they were watching you wrestle and you were getting beat and then you came back and won. And it's just, it's neat to be creating all those memories.
Yes. And it's fun. I mean, having a big family definitely, like, logistically can be a challenge as far as traveling goes, hotel rooms, getting places. It can be a challenge. There's no doubt.
You just got to have a big blue van. You
got to have a way to haul everybody.
Oh, the big blue van, the 15 passenger, that's what you got to have. And, no, it's not the coolest vehicle you could be rolling down the road in. But for me, like, when I'm driving that thing and all my kids are in the back, it's like, I'm proud of that. I'm not proud of the vehicle itself, but the fact that we have a family large enough that I got to drive one of those things.
You got to.
It's like, some people would look at that as an inconvenience or whatever, but like, I think God's blessed us with that family, and it's a blessing that we have to drive a vehicle like that.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. So
and we do.
Yeah.
So, like we said, having a big family for us is just super fulfilling. We feel like it's the best use of our time, and we feel like by discipling the next generation, it's our way of honoring God and using what He gave us to the best of our abilities.
Mm-hmm. I think one point that just came to my mind is like people will ask us sometimes, how do you do it all with all these kids? And if I were to give them like a snapshot of an average day during the week and how we spend our time, it looks like wake up early in the morning and get a workout in. Mm-hmm. Come home.
You do that.
Yeah. But you get a workout in the mornings too. You just don't wake up as early as I do.
Not as early as you. I wake up with the kids.
But I think people fill their days with stuff with a lot of waste. And so for us, it's like workout in the morning. We both read the Bible for a period of time. Then we get ready and we go to work. We work throughout the day. We come home. It's with the kids. We're usually getting ready and going to an activity or having supper first, one of the two. and then we go to the activity. Then we come home and everybody's got shower and bath time, and then we read the Bible together as a family and discuss. I read like 5 Proverbs a night on average usually, and then I let them kind of talk about what they heard out of the message. And then I might read a little bit of a book, maybe if I'm not too tired. You'll stay up with Baxter and get him ready for bed and feed him, watch a show or read a book, and then we go to bed. I mean, that's kind of the daily, almost every day, what it looks like.
Yep.
So,
which I think is important for kids, because I think kids need a routine and a rhythm to make them feel secure. And so for us, like, they know what to expect. There's no guessing. They know what each day the rhythm is going to look like.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe that helps somebody out there of like, what does a daily cadence look like? I mean, there's not any, for me anyway, there's no TV in that day. There's no, what I would consider just complete waste of time stuff.
Yeah, I think something big for us too that we haven't really talked about yet is like the importance of reading for yourselves as adults and as for your children. So we both love reading different genres. You are strictly nonfiction in your reading.
I tried to do fiction earlier this year and
well, you also chose a really hard book. You tried to read The Hobbit.
Yeah, and I still have a goal to kind of finish it, but what did I read? I don't know, 100 pages, and I just kind of I haven't got back to it, but it's a challenge for me.
But you love nonfiction books where you can learn things.
Yes, I like to be learning while I'm reading. I like to have a pen or a highlighter in one hand, and I'm underlining and making little notes in the margins, and I like to be actively reading, not I don't know, I'm not mentally checked out, and some people like to do that. I think you like to do that sometimes.
I like both.
You like both.
I really like nonfiction. I like highlighting and learning, especially if it's something that I just want to learn more about, obviously. But I also really love fiction books. I love World War II books. My favorite genre, which this is super specific, is Christian historical fiction.
Yeah.
So if I can get
you've definitely turned into a little bit of a nerd in your.
I tell him, I'm like, I read about the Dust Bowl, which I learned. You don't know a lot about these things, and then you read a book, even if it's fiction, it's based on truth.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
A lot of 1940s books, which I can devour. I love them, but I think it's cool because our kids see us reading. And that makes them want to read. And so what's really neat, I told him the other day, I was reading a book outside. I sit outside or lay outside on the tanning chair and tan and read a book often. And I had like 3 of our boys around us, and they all had their books. They will do what they see us doing.
Right.
Another thing that I've started having our boys do, our daughter and our first son just naturally read their Bible really well. The others, not as much. So I started making them read a devotional every night before bed. Mm-hmm. And maybe they want to read their fiction book, and that's fine. However, I want them to read their devotional first. So trying to make that become a habit.
Right. But we do, if you can tell, like a lot of things as a family unit, mm-hmm. And that is our life. And so whatever we're doing, whether that's eating supper or going somewhere to a game or an event or a practice or sitting down and reading, it's usually done together.
Some things we've really enjoyed doing lately too as a family is we've enjoyed playing pickleball.
Yeah.
That's been really fun for us. So a lot of times if we don't have something in the evening, we go up to the local tennis courts because we don't have pickleball courts and play pickleball, and it works.
Yeah. People haven't used those courts in years.
We just use them for our pickleball. You can buy a pickleball set on Amazon, super cheap. And we like it because our whole family can play. Now, obviously there's different skill levels, but we can all play and have fun.
Yeah.
We played kickball last weekend in our backyard.
Got a little intense.
It did get a little intense. We're a very competitive family, so things do get intense. experience. But
when you have a large family, is another benefit. You can play your own games, right? Like we created a kickball game out of our own family. You can't do that if you only have like one kid.
That's true. It's not very fun.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, we broke up into teams.
Yeah.
It was great.
So, you know, we go to Shangri-La Resort sometimes on Grand Lake, and they've got like a pickleball court, not a pickleball, a wiffle ball, little baseball, miniature baseball field. It's turf and stuff, and we'll be out there if nobody's out there, and we'll get our own game going. And some people will come up and see us playing, and they're like, "This is all your guys' kids?
We can play our own wiffle ball game just with our family."
We get to say it. We get asked that question all the time. Are these all yours? And we're like, yeah.
I had somebody this week tell me, "I can't believe you have 7 kids. You look like your hair's washed. You have makeup on. You actually look put together, and you work. What?"
Right.
Like, how do you do that? And for me, I'm like, why would I not put makeup on and make myself look and feel good? Like, yeah, I want that.
I think another point that just came to my mind is I think society wants us to only have 1 or 2 kids at best. I think you go past that, then you're entering into the crazy zone, and you're having a bunch of. If you have 3, then you have 4. People are like, "What?" They're like, "You know what causes that, right?" And
it's like all the time.
Oh, if I had
and if not, what? Then why? Why would you?
Why would you? You know? And here's what I would say. I mean, I think when we went from what do we think is harder, from 1 to 2 kids or 2 to 3?
Yeah, I thought that 1 to 2 was all harder.
Yeah, and I think I would agree. Going from 2 to 3, you're obviously outnumbered, but just getting used to the second was a bigger hurdle in our opinion.
Yeah.
But I would say this is as you continue to have kids, it's like God gives you the ability to continue to handle them.
Yes.
I don't know, handle them is the wrong word, but it's not. I don't think it's as hard as what people imagine in their mind that it is. You're growing in it little by little.
That's what I tell people often is I didn't just have 7 kids at once.
Yeah, if we would have just gotten 7 out the gate, that would have been very difficult.
But we've had 1 at a time, and so honestly, we've grown a lot as a person. I'm a much better woman today than I was at 22 when we got married, because my kids have made me better.
Right.
They've made me more patient. They've made me more understanding, probably less selfish, all the things, because as a mom, you have to learn to be unselfish and to take care of others, to do things that you don't necessarily want to do. It just makes you better.
That's a good point. I think that's another valid point is, if you care about being a good parent and raising your kids well, having a bunch of kids will make you a better parent, because you feel that responsibility and you don't want to fail at it, and it makes you better. It makes you work harder. It makes you achieve goals. It just, I think it all goes together, It
does. I think so too. We wouldn't trade it for the world. We love having a big family. Like you said, another Bible verse that we go back to is children are a heritage of the Lord. They're a reward. The fruit of the womb is a reward. So we don't look at our kids as a burden. We look at them as a blessing.
Yeah, every once in a while, when somebody sees us with our kids, or we tell them we have 7 kids, will they say, "Man, what a blessing."
Sometimes, and I love hearing that.
Yeah, and it's but I mean, that's I don't know, 1 out of 100 will say that. It's not very many. Mm-hmm. Most of them act like it's a burden,
yes.
And it's man, you guys, if you guys could only see the bigger picture, it's don't look at your children as a burden. They're not a burden, even though sometimes they get on your nerves, that's for sure, mm-hmm. but they're not a burden. It's a blessing. And, God created life, and for him to allow you to create life, and disciple those kids, it's man, what more could you want out of life?
Yeah.
So
that's how we see it.
That's how we feel.
We see it that way. Like I said, that is our conviction. We feel like God's just given us the ability and the desire to have a large family, and He's blessed us with the means to do that. So.
Yeah, somebody asked me one time, man, there's 7 kids and all that. It's like, that's got to be expensive. Like, how do you do it? And I was like, you just got to make more money.
Right. I mean, that is true too.
And they just kind of looked at me. And I'm like,
I also think kids aren't as expensive as people make them out to be because, hello, hand-me-downs.
We hand-me-down.
We hand-me-down as much as we can. With boys, they do mess things up.
Oh, hand-me-down and just make things last past the point of, like Baker's football cleat the other day, the whole toe was torn off. Like,
well, I think they've already been passed down from Bowen to Baker, so
okay.
Lots of use.
Like the bottom of the cleat was totally separated from the actual shoe. Like, I mean, like 3 inches.
Yeah.
Under the ball of his foot. Yeah. And, I bought some, $4 shoe goo on Amazon and duct tape and glued that thing. And 48 hours later, it was solid as a rock. And you keep using them.
Yeah. We try to make things last. I can stretch a meal a long way. I know a lot of times you'll come in and you're like, we have nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You can make a whole meal out of this.
Yeah.
It's like,
You've gotten really good at that. Because I'll open the fridge and be like, we ain't got nothing. You'll close it. Next thing I know, you got like a 5-course meal created. And I don't even know where it all came from.
Where did this come from?
Yeah.
So, I feel like God supplies. Whenever you give Him your best, He is going to supply to you. And doing activities that you don't have to, it doesn't cost a lot of money. Like we go up to the tennis courts and play pickleball.
Right. That's free.
It is. And on usually Saturday night, sometimes Friday nights, we do family movie night.
Right.
Maybe we find something free. Maybe we rent a movie for $3 and we have popcorn and we watch movie night. That's just like our kids love it. We get to spend time together. None of these things are expensive. They're just, now some things can be. Right.
The groceries.
Groceries are expensive. They are. Yeah. I mean, right now, every week.
Yeah, every week was what?
About $400 to $500 a week. Right?
Yeah. So
for groceries, and then we eat out a couple of times during the week.
Yeah.
So it can be expensive for sure, but balance it out. Like it's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. And you don't spend money on other frivolous stuff that doesn't matter, like car payments and other things. And, it's not a big deal to have a high grocery bill. You just kind of move the teeter-totter over the other direction.
That's right.
So.
And I'll say as a mom, I think a lot of women are so afraid of like, if I have a large family, I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do. And so like my response to that is, well, maybe what you wanted to do isn't all that important. And secondly, like, if it's God's purpose for your life, you're going to be able to do both. I would argue that like us having a big family, me having 7 children has made me better. It's made me have more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I can speak to other women who either long for a large family or have one and say, you can do this too. And he's just, he's allowed my platform to grow as I've been obedient to him. Mm-hmm. And he will always give you more than you can handle. They say, people will often say, God will never give you more than you can handle. Well, yes, he will.
Right.
He'll always give you more than you can handle because he is going to sustain you. Mm-hmm. He's going to uplift you, encourage you, and give you the strength.
Right.
So that's what we're here for.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah. So we hope this encourages you, whether you have 1 child or 7 children or more.
Go have a bunch of them.
We want you to be encouraged and realize that children are a blessing, not a burden, and be fruitful and multiply.
Yes.
The world needs more of what you have.